Honestly, I didn't expect much out of Goodwill to Men because this is a recreation of Peace on Earth, which is an absolutely wonderful short. And when I kind of read the description for this, it came on my radar because it was nominated for the Best Academy Short Cartoon in 1955. It didn't win. Had it won, I would have understood because it is actually so much better than I expected. But Speedy Gonzales won, which was a fair winner. But this was just described as being a remake of Peace on Earth in CinemaScope. Actually, it is so much more than that. This is a good 15, almost 20 years older than Peace on Earth. And as you will notice by the date, 1955, a lot happened in the world in that short space of time. This was directed by Joseph Barbera and William Hanna, and it's very, very similar, although it starts off quite differently. Instead of having this kind of grandfather mouse telling a story to his grandchildren, we have this choir master telling this story to these little choir mice. And that means it starts off really beautifully. The mice are singing this really gorgeous song, and then they sit down to listen to this story about how man no longer exists, how humans no longer exist. This is the same concept as Peace on Earth, because Peace on Earth details about how men just keep fighting. I'm using men generically, it is actually men in this because of the nature of the topic, but how humans keep fighting each other and they don't accept peace on Earth, and they are actually very horrible people. As we know, we are planet destroyers, we are fighters. It's a horrible, horrible place to live when you think about it. These mice are living in harmony. And that was great as a concept for the first one, but this one focuses primarily on the Second World War, and it talks about how these humans would crawl on their stomachs wearing these metal things on their heads, and they have long snouts, obviously referring to army regalia. And it talks about how there's one line in it. Like I'm not going to quote it verbatim because I can't remember, but it's roughly along the lines of, it seems like the mission of both sides was to see how many people they could kill. And I think that just feels so accurate. It focuses on the Second World War, and it does just seem like both the Allies and the Axis just set out and went, let's see who can kill the most people. Because that'll solve the problem. Obviously not. And there's this really moving scene, a very brief moment where we get to see an animation of the white crosses in the field, and it's very moving, but a lot of it is also very bloodthirsty, and you can definitely feel the contrast between the peaceful choir mice and then the fighting nature of the humans and how we destroyed absolutely everything. Obviously, it's not 100% accurate. The world didn't disappear for humans after the Second World War, but the point is, if humans keep going on like this, we're going to erase ourselves completely. We're going to keep killing each other until there's only one person left, and then either that person's going to kill themselves, or they can't reproduce on their own, so they'll just die out. Which sometimes I feel like is a better scenario for this planet, because I have a lot of hatred towards my own kind, because we are not great people when we think about it. But at the same time, humans have this fantastic capacity for compassion and understanding, and there are so many amazing people. And okay, granted, this this animation doesn't touch on that, but this makes us think. This should make you think that actually we don't have to be like this. We are not preconditioned to kill one another. We are the most civilized creature on this planet that we know of. I'm sure there are amoebas that are more civilized than us, but we are inherently designed to work together. We are intelligent beings who know the difference between right and wrong. But we don't practice that. And there's a lovely bit at the end of this animation, which I'm pretty sure was at the end of Peace on Earth as well, where the choir mouse, or the owl, it's the owl, is looking through the book, which is clearly meant to represent the Bible, and it says things like, thou shalt not kill, love thy neighbour, and the owl's commenting on the fact that these are really great rules by which to live life, and humanity just must have forgotten to do that. It's very true. So I didn't expect much. I thought it would be so similar to Peace on Earth, but actually it's much more powerful, it's much more effective. The script is kind of similar, it gets across the same kind of points, but I just feel like this was even more impressive. Filmed in CinemaScope, expecting sharper animation quality. Yep, I feel like the animation is better, but not by much, not by too much. But this is me watching it on YouTube. Maybe if I'd watched it on a big screen, it would have been a completely different experience. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can see why it was nominated. If it had won, I would have understood. I think I prefer Goodwill to Men over Peace on Earth. But because Peace on Earth was the first one, and at the time a unique concept, I guess I love them both in different ways. Either way, definitely check out Goodwill to Men. I think you'll find it really moving.